But you must realize that in the last days, the times will be full of danger. Men will become utterly self-centered and greedy for money.
My whole life I've been greedy. I've grabbed all the money I could get. I'm so greedy.
They will be proud and abusive.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals.
Uncontrolled and violent.
Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
They will be treacherous, reckless, and arrogant.
I am the chosen one.
Loving what gives them pleasure instead of loving God.
You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet.
Maintain a facade of religion, but their lives deny the truth.
Have you ever asked God for forgiveness?
That's a tough question.
I'm not sure I have. I don't bring God into that picture. I don't.
Keep clear of people like that.
Franklin Graham is furious. And when Franklin Graham speaks, evangelicals listen. Right now, he's in the middle of an all-out war, not just for the heart of the evangelical vote, but for the legacy of his father, the legendary Billy Graham. An explosive $1 million ad campaign is using Billy Graham's own words to attack Donald Trump, and Franklin is calling it a deliberate lie. What did the ad say? And why is Franklin Graham's response sending shockwaves across the country? You do not want to miss this. Let's rewind. Just days ago, a political action committee called Evangelicals for Harris launched an unprecedented attack against Donald Trump. But this wasn't your average political ad. This one was different. It used the powerful voice of Franklin Graham's father, the beloved Billy Graham, to suggest that Donald Trump represents the evil men spoken about in 2 Timothy 3. The ad is nothing short of biblical fire and brimstone, and it's already making waves in key battleground states. This ad pulls no punches. It uses Billy Graham's sermon from 2 Timothy to draw a parallel between the sins of the last days and Donald Trump's own words and actions. Self-centered, greedy, boastful, these are just the beginning of what Evangelicals for Harris are accusing Trump of. But when Franklin Graham saw this, his reaction was immediate and fierce. He didn't just criticize the ad, he blasted it as an outright distortion of his father's legacy. In fact, Franklin says that using Billy Graham's image and words in this way is completely misleading, and trust me, he's not holding back. The liberals are using anything and everything they can to promote candidate Harris. They even developed a political ad trying to use my father's image. My father appreciated the conservative values of President Trump. In a fiery response, Franklin tweeted that his father actually supported Donald Trump's conservative values and even voted for him in 2016, just before Billy passed away. Franklin is making it crystal clear that if his father were still alive today, his views wouldn't have changed. And this is where it gets personal. Franklin Graham isn't just defending his father's legacy, he's defending his own role as one of Trump's most vocal evangelical supporters. For Franklin, this isn't just about politics, it's about preserving what he believes to be a true, godly vision for America. And he's furious at what he calls a liberal agenda, trying to use his father's good name to sway voters. And Franklin Graham knows the power of his words. He's one of the most influential voices in the evangelical world today, and when he calls out something as a lie, millions listen. But here's the thing. This ad campaign is turning heads for a reason. It isn't just about Trump's character, it's about a battle for the soul of evangelical Christianity in America. The ad makes some of the most damning comparisons yet, suggesting that Trump embodies characteristics like pride and abusiveness, even going so far as to show him making derogatory remarks about women back in 2015. Then, the ad accuses Trump of being reckless and treacherous, using that infamous moment when he called himself the chosen one. But here's where Franklin Graham takes real issue. The ad doesn't just stop with attacking Trump's character, it questions his faith. It even suggests that Trump is using religion as a facade, showing a clip of Trump saying he doesn't ask for God's forgiveness. For Franklin, who has repeatedly defended Trump's spiritual journey, this is crossing a line. Franklin is drawing a sharp line here. He believes Trump's faith is genuine, and in the wake of 2 recent assassination attempts, Trump himself has said that he's thinking more about God than ever before.
If you believed in God, you believe in God more. And somebody said, like, why? And I'd like to think that God thinks that I'm going to straighten out our country. Our country is so sick, and it's so broken. Our country is just broken. And maybe that was the reason. I don't know.
Franklin sees this as divine intervention, and he's framing the attacks on Trump as not just political, but spiritual. In fact, Franklin has gone as far as saying that there's a demonic power behind the relentless attacks on Trump. To him, this isn't just an election, it's a battle between good and evil. And when Franklin Graham frames it that way, it resonates with millions of evangelical voters. But let's not forget, the Graham family itself is divided on this issue. Franklin's niece, Jerusha Duford, has openly supported Kamala Harris. She's claimed that evangelicals who support Trump are turning people away from the true message of Christianity. And she's part of the Evangelicals for Harris movement that's pushing this ad campaign forward. Duford's voice in this debate is significant. She's essentially saying that Trump's behavior is incompatible with the message of Jesus, and that evangelicals need to rethink their support of him if they want to stay true to their faith.
First, people professing the Lord made excuses for the lack of kindness, then for the name-calling. Soon it was making excuses for assault. Then it became making excuses for January 6th, and now making excuses for convicted assault and 34 felonies.
But Franklin Graham sees this as a betrayal, not just of the Trump presidency, but of the very principles that his father stood for. This family division is symbolic of a larger split within the evangelical community. On one side, you have leaders like Franklin Graham, who are doubling down on their support for Trump, despite the controversies surrounding his character. On the other, you have voices like Duford's, who argue that Trump's actions are doing irreparable harm to the Christian faith. This divide is shaking the evangelical base, and it could very well decide the outcome of the 2024 election. This isn't just a political battle, it's a battle for the future of Christianity in American politics. And with over $1 million behind this ad campaign, Evangelicals for Harris are making sure their message reaches millions of voters in critical battleground states. So, where do you stand? Do you believe Franklin Graham is right? That this ad campaign is a deliberate distortion of his father's legacy and a misleading attack on Donald Trump? Or do you side with Jerusha Duford, who says evangelicals need to reject Trump to preserve the true message of Christianity? This is a conversation that's going to shape not just the 2024 election, but the future of the evangelical movement in America. Let us know what you think in the comments below,